Hey everybody, and welcome to Monsters Lounge. I'm Jeni.
I'm Tressa. Wow, what was that?
I don't know. Usually I'm the one that has trouble with my own name. This is fun. I'm really excited about our new intro slideshow.
Oh my god, so fun!
It's so fun. So tonight, we have no guests. Our only guests are us.
Oh no!
But it's okay because you know what?
What?
We are going to be doing a recap of our adventure into the Pacific Northwest, and we talked about the Bigfoot Fest for 3 months, maybe. I
Felt
don't
like a
know.
year or so.
Yeah, it might have been more than that. I don't know. I wish we were still. Wait, we are still talking about it.
Oh!
I know. So we are going to give an update on what activities and what fun things that we got up to on our Pacific Northwest adventure. It's very exciting.
Okay. Go now.
Go now. We're going to go sort of chronologically as to what happened. First, we flew in. And
Did you take an Uber, a taxi? How did you get to the airport is what I want to know.
my mom
Oh,
took
that's
us.
so nice.
Yeah, my mom did because she's the best. And I love her.
That's
and
great.
She's great. And you know what? She's real great at like 3 a.m. too. It's the exact time I want to talk to my mom all the time. It's 3 a.m. No, she's a real treat, and she's a real pal for bringing us to the airport. But anyway, so the Bigfoot Fest, Oregon Bigfoot Festival and beyond, was so much fun.
The funnest.
Oh man, it was really fun. First of all, Dave, as always, is a delight to be around and very interesting to talk to, listen to, all of the things. So that was amazing. The setup was in a amusement park, which to me sounded weird.
Yeah.
At the onset of it, like I'm thinking Great America, and we're all just going to be dodging children to get to various booths or speakers.
Right, but it was like the grassy knoll of the place. I love, I already told you this, but I love a tiny theme park, a tiny amusement park. Adorable, dangerous, but not as dangerous as a carnival. I love it. It's so great.
Exactly. Oh, and it was the best. It was so clean and so nice, and everyone working there and volunteering there was extraordinarily pleasant.
Yeah. Except for
Not
the
like
ones
they're
that didn't
rude
show
anywhere
up.
else, but well, yeah.
So we had to do the photography job for most of it.
Oh, had to.
Yeah. Dang it.
I know. That was also fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really nice little place. They had it off to the side in a little wooded area. It was very, very pretty. There were amazing vendors. I bought a lot of things.
Me too.
Yeah.
Listen.
So I highly recommend.
I didn't know what to expect there because it's a festival and not a convention. It's what we usually go to.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that difference.
Oh, I thought about it a lot. And I don't know that there was that much of a difference, except it was outside.
Which I was delighted with,
It was
by the way.
Perfect out. I'm sure everyone wants to know
Gorgeous.
what the weather was. Let's see. It was around 70-something. It started to sprinkle at some point. Perfect.
Yeah, but it was okay. It was warm, but also not humid.
Jeni, did we
welcome everyone
meet anybody?
Maybe. We met Bigfoot.
That's
everybody, It finally happened.
Look how scared we both are.
Solution is right there. Answer given. Riddle solved. He enjoys festivals and amusement parks, and also elephant ears.
Hey, who doesn't? Except your tummy. And then we got to hang out with Dave and take pictures for him and get a huge bunch of bananas that nobody ate and I ended up throwing away. And a pizza that nobody ate and I ended up throwing away.
And like 4 elephant ears that we ate half of and then threw the rest away.
Yeah. And then we also got to hang out with Ronnie LeBlanc and what's his name, Kevin. And
yeah, that guy. Ronnie LeBlanc, gave us an impromptu interview that we aired last week, and it's possibly
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. I know time.
It's not important.
And it was an amazing interview. The guy's right on the spot. Just had all kinds of interesting and cool things to talk about.
And happy to do it. He was a gent.
Oh, just a gent. We got to hang out with him all day and so much fun.
Yeah. The best time. Listen, that was a great time. Everyone needs to go to the Oregon Bigfoot Festival next year because,
Absolutely.
a great time.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I was listening back to the Ronnie interview, and one of the most interesting, and please go back and listen to it if you have not already.
Me right now?
You right now.
Okay.
Leave this. We'll wait. Okay. Listen, and then, oh man. All right. We don't need her. Okay. So one of the
I'm back. It's good. You were right. It was really good.
I know. So he was talking about, I had no idea about this, but these old stone structures that are sort of sprinkled throughout New England. There's like 100 in Massachusetts, like 60 in Connecticut, and some of them go up to as old as 4,000 years, which is wild to me.
How is that possible? White people weren't even in the country then.
Apparently they were. Apparently they snuck in, they did some things, and then they snuck back out.
Oh.
I don't know.
See, I was making a joke that only white people could build things because I'm stupid and white and I don't know any better.
No, I got that, but I was about to follow it up with the actual information.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, and the reason why I say they snuck in and then left is because a lot of them resemble some of the Celtic structures. Ancient Celtic, Druid structures. In fact, one of them is called like the American Stonehenge, which is crazy cool.
You know what's funny about that, but not really? There is a Stonehenge in the gorge that we'll talk about in a minute, but it's just like some guy who's like, hey, Stonehenge is neat. I'm going to build one too. So there's no like astrological or anything to it. It's just like a bunch of, he's like, I could charge people to have their weddings here or whatever. I don't know what people do.
It's a really, I don't know what people do at Stonehenge. I have no idea. I'm assuming it's weddings.
I would, wouldn't you? I mean.
Yeah, probably. Whatever. But so Ronnie was talking about these things as, places of power, possible portals. And some of them, like the American Stonehenge one, can still be used as an accurate calendar.
But not the one at the gorge.
Not the one at the gorge. You could use it, but accuracy is kind of, time's relative anyway, right? Mm-hmm. It's all a construct. So sure, why not use it?
Yep.
Come up with your own calendar.
I like it.
And scene.
And sign. Okay, go ahead.
And I'm going to be reading a little bit off of notes because there's no way in heck I'm going to remember all of this research that I did because immediately I was interested in this, right?
Yeah.
And the Stonehenge is a 30-acre complex of standing stones, underground chambers, and stone walls. So this is wild. They have tombs. There's areas in some of these places that are considered possibly sacrificial altars.
Oh.
Yeah. And the actual America's Stonehenge has a stone-lined speaking tube that gives the impression the altar is talking when someone speaks into it.
What?
And I love that so much. I love that.
It's just a bunch of charlatans being like, hey, you should go to that place because it totally talks if you go over there. I'll be over at this other place, but you should go there. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and which is wild because when you look at some of these ancient structures, a lot of them were built and organized in such a way as to be deceptive to the common folk, right?
I like that.
A lot of like Mayan and Aztec temples were built with secret chambers. Not only were they built in such a way where the optics of like the stairways, they were very, very vertical. So it looked a lot taller than it actually is. It looked like only somebody with godlike powers could be up there. And then they had all these sort of warrens where priests would like just pop out of places. So it looked like they were transporting themselves around.
Love that.
Which I love it and hate it because obviously it's, people in power trying to
that's the
maintain
worst.
Control.
But it is hilarious.
But it is hilarious that mankind has been tricking each other for eons.
We've been the worst forever.
Across the board. All cultures. Yay.
Hooray. Oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway, so he was talking about going to some of these places and researching into them, and I cannot wait to see and hear about more of those adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got some cool stuff coming out that I'm sure we will be all very excited about.
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will. And we got to hear about this kid named Daniel.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, and again, go listen to that specific episode. Not right now because we're awesome right now, but the kid just is amazing.
Yeah,
He's just an amazing kid.
I can't wait to see this show they're putting together. Is it a show or is it a documentary? Like,
he's got a documentary, and then I believe that there's a show coming out as well, where they're going to investigate all sorts of lesser known cryptids and lore.
I love this kid. Everybody go find him. He's great.
He's so cool. He's so cool. And also, I'm going to keep pushing for this one. I really want him to investigate Megalodon.
Okay. I'm not going to stop you from pushing that.
I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it a lot.
I don't know why you keep thinking I'm going to stop you from that.
Stop fighting with me.
I'm not.
I believe what I believe.
I just want you to be happy, Jeni.
Thank you. I just want you to be happy too.
Thank you, Jeni.
Oh. Do you want to talk about the North American Bigfoot Center?
Yeah. So then what do? We drove.
We drove. I don't know what's happening with my face there.
You need like an upper lip liner because it looks like it's not there. But
yeah,
otherwise,
I think we were very tired.
Oh, we were. I was
very tired.
A week solid. But then we finally got to the North American Bigfoot Center Museum and Gift Shop. Heavy on the gift shop for me.
Yeah, very heavy on the gift shop for all of us. Mm-hmm. But Tressa did enjoy that one, that part of the museum.
I love a gift shop. What can I say?
So Cliff Barrickman was on the show a few months back, and he told us about this place because obviously he founded it and does all kinds of research based out of there. I mean, it was half an hour outside of Portland. It was amazing. That place had all kinds of, so many. There were nests. There were examples of nests. There was examples.
This beautiful thing when you first walk in. Look at that.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. Look at him. And look at the lighting. Come on.
Right on his junk. You got
moving on. Sasquatch butt print.
This is not my photo, but this is the only photo I took when I was in there.
So it is an impression of Bigfoot back end.
Oh, at the bottom?
Yeah, the bottom.
The haunches?
As it were. Haunches. That's a good word for it.
Oh, did you say derriere? Okay.
No, we did. Just now. So that was really cool. They had hand impression, foot impressions, something that when I learn new facts about Bigfoot, for as long as I've been interested, I feel a little bit silly not knowing these facts before.
Oh, I feel like that every time I learn something. It's usually pretty commonplace stuff, though. So,
well, and I feel like I just never bothered to look into it. They had a whole exhibit on how the joints in Sasquatch feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and how there's a sort of a middle joint in the middle of their foot, and that causes them to have the dexterity that they do and being able to be in the regions that they are, and also how you can tell a fake impression from a real one. So that was fascinating. But also they had a huge exhibit on the orang pendek, which I think is fascinating because it's one of the ones that National Geographic has actually funded research into.
Tell me more about that, because I was probably in the gift shop by then.
I think actually you were. So that guy is coming out of Sumatra, which is Indonesian, and there's a few different versions of the orang pendek, and I'm not going to be able to remember all the words, but they're shorter. They're shorter in stature. They're about 3 or 4 feet tall. They have dark brown or blonde hair. Gorgeous. Some reports have like a mane sort of thing coming back from the top of their head, going down their back.
They sound cool as hell.
Don't they, though?
Yeah.
So you're thinking like very
Ewoks?
similar. You know what? Let's just go ahead and call them Ewoks, because now I can't get that out of my head.
You're welcome.
Also, they're adorable, and they want to be your friend.
Oh.
And they're so cute, and they get mad. They have very powerful shoulders, long arms, bipedal, and have been reported for several hundred years since Dutch colonists were in the area. Also by villagers and natives as well. So it is part of the lore there.
Wait, they're Indonesian, but they've been seen in Oregon? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it was one of the exhibits.
Okay. Are there Dutch settlers in Indonesia is what I'm asking.
No, they are in Oregon. The Dutch settlers... No.
Where did Indonesia come in?
There were Dutch settlers in Sumatra, which is a place.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's what I was asking.
I didn't know. They're very confusing. Help me out, everybody, because come on. Listen.
Yep.
So one of the reasons that this guy is so cool is because we're thinking, oh, maybe orangutan or whatever. But no. Also, there have been a lot of more recent discoveries about anthropologic discoveries. Like in 2003, I think it was, there was a new subspecies of, or whatever you call it, of Homo. Uh-huh. So Homo florenians? I got to check my notes on that one.
Good God, woman.
I know. Because I'm very, very bad at pronunciation. Floresiensis.
That's right. That can't not be right.
It sounds scientific.
Yeah. But look how great we are after we saw everything, and I was waiting.
Yeah, we did see everything. Listen, but there was one that was discovered, one of our ancestors, a very short, sort of pygmy sized. So yeah, and there was also a new species of orangutan discovered in the same area, I think in 2017. So there are new discoveries coming out of that region all of the time, and that makes it super exciting.
What region is this exactly again?
Sumatra.
Oh, still talking about Sumatra.
Yep, still obsessed. In Sumatra land. You know what? All right, fine. We will move on to the next location of
let's do
exhibit.
That. Drive. Oh, or is it just
We're still
exhibit?
there.
Oh, God.
We're going to talk about the next exhibit as soon as we get back from a fantastic ad break.
Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night? Do you experience feelings of dread in your basement or attic? Have you or your family ever seen a spook, spectre, or ghost? Then Haunted Magazine issue 41 might just be for you. In issue 41 we have The Enfield Haunting, an interview with Dave Schrader, Danny Robbins, and lots more. Out now in stores, app stores, and online at bit.ly/Haunted Magazine. Remember, don't be normal, be paranormal.
Lost track of time.
Yeah.
It's fine. I can't read from this far away.
Yeah, it's too bad you can't hear the ad here when it's over.
Moving along. Moving along. So our next, and we're talking about 2 exhibits here, and the whole museum is absolutely packed with them.
Oh yeah.
So the next museum has to do with the Yeti skull cap and hand.
Yes.
And that was at a monastery, right?
Yes.
So this is little Buddhist monastery. The story kind of, not for the scalp or the hand, but this is our story. When we enter the story, we enter with Tom Slick. What does he do for work? You might ask.
Yeah, I did.
Oil tycoon.
Mr. Slick is into Mr. Oil Slick. What a jerk.
Yeah. Did the name come first? Did the job come first? What's happening there?
It's like a generations old joke. They're like, you got to. You don't have a choice, dude. You were born into it. I mean, we're not oil people now, but you are forced to now.
Obviously, you have the last name, and it makes sense. So in sort of the 40s and 50s, it was awesome to be an adventurer and an explorer, and that's also what this guy did. So if you were fairly wealthy and had British, there was a lot of British guys running around with this stuff.
Always. Since the dawn of time.
You became an explorer or an adventurer, right? So he actually funded a lot of cryptid-based expeditions. Like he looked into Loch Ness, he looked into Yeti, he looked into Sasquatch. I mean, that's what I would do
if I
had oil money, but...
Yeah. Absolutely. What? Yeah, if I had oil money, nothing but cryptid hunting. And I use that in the metaphorical sense. I'm not actually hunting anything like that guy at the Bigfoot Fest said I was going to do. Settle down, dude. I just meant it as a metaphor.
Yeah, no one's actually hunting.
No.
All right. Here's the other one. The Trinity Alps giant salamander. That's another one he funded. I know.
What? I don't know what you're saying
right salamander, now. But he went to go look for it.
Oh.
That's what Tom Slick did.
Did he find it?
He did not.
Oh, that's weird.
He did not.
I don't know what that is, so I'm assuming he made it up and then said he was going to look for it.
So he heard about this monastery in Nepal and went on an expedition, funded the expedition, and then I think he was injured on the expedition, and so he handed it off. And it was Peter Byrne who actually heard about the location of the monastery and went. And he continued on his Sasquatch research, I think, until he passed, which, I don't know. I don't remember when that was, but it wasn't tremendously long. But he's kind of a pioneer in the Bigfoot searching industry. Is that?
It's called hunting, Jeni. I think I already covered it.
You know what? I'm going to say searching at the moment because I felt like it. So, yeah. So, anyway, he goes and he travels up to this monastery to try to get a hold of this scalp in this hand. The monastery is kind of like, yeah, no, thanks. We need those. They're kind of our relics.
It's like our whole thing.
It's like our deal. So there's two different stories. The first story that he told was that he got the monk in charge of guarding these relics super drunk, and then just kind of
took off
with the stuff. But they had hatched. Prior to this, they had hatched a plan, right? Like
who's they?
Like oil slick, the other guy? Oil slick guy,
yeah,
and Byrne. So they decided to steal part of the hand and replace it with like a corpse hand.
Sure. Who doesn't do that all the time?
So they were gonna do the old
switcheroo.
They were gonna do the old switcheroo, and so the
What's
two stories
that?
are. Exactly. Except for here's some rum, and then later on it was here's some money. Yeah, he changed the story a little bit later. So who knows? Well, the actual truth of it?
Booze story. So I'm sure
exactly
that's fine.
Yeah. So anyway, pulled the old switcheroo, got the digits, and took them out in Nepal. Right. Mm-hmm. So very easy to smuggle out of Nepal, or Tibet. Not so easy to smuggle them back home. So he calls up Tom. Tom's like, I got a guy who can get you a guy. Anyway, it turns out that the guy that they're asking to smuggle these things is Jimmy Stewart. Mm.
That's right. Because you know what? It's a wonderful life. And why not? Why wouldn't you do that? I'm sure they smuggled it in a totally normal and not weird way too.
Absolutely. It was in his wife's lingerie box in their luggage.
Okay.
Because nobody was going to search it.
That's weird that she has a full box just for lingerie.
I don't know. Maybe it was a little bag or something. I don't know the size of her luggage.
No,
I didn't
she
really
said it was
on that
locked.
Part.
It was locked.
Yeah, it's true. It was locked.
And second off, who locks up their lingerie? Settle down.
Apparently she does.
Well, she was
so
smuggling.
maybe I don't know. I got nothing on that. All right. Anyway, so they get it back. And run some DNA testing on it. They say it's human-like, but inconclusive. Not DNA testing, hair sample and whatnot. after all of these things, after all of this subterfuge and all of that, the original hand is eventually stolen. The scalp supposedly has been replaced a couple of times. Any testing done on that is only shown like animal hide from like a common animal wandering around the mountains over there.
Goat and whatnot.
Yeah. So, and then weird other little fact about it. So since the hand was stolen and disappeared, the company who did all of the props and whatnot for the Lord of the Rings movies.
Did you hear that?
No.
Go ahead.
I heard you say, oh.
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
Anyway, whatever. Weta Workshops. So they did the costumes and the weapons for the Lord of the Rings movies. It's owned by this guy, Mike Alsop, who was a New Zealand pilot, mountain climber, and adventurer. There it goes. All these guys do this stuff. They built a replica hand and presented it to the monastery.
Bless.
I know.
I mean, everyone knows it's fake, so it's fine. But it was a nice gesture.
It was a nice gesture. You know, they had big time people working on that. Big time people. Okay, and then of course another one of the exhibits was the story of Ape Canyon, right, which is not too terribly far away from Boring, Washington, Oregon, where the actual North American Bigfoot Center is.
That's right. So we drove to our camping spot, which was stunning. Spent the night there. And then the next day, we saw a pizza place. But more importantly, we went in a cave.
And this was super fun. So Ape Canyon is a little bit farther away from the cave.
Blah, blah, blah. Let's hear about the cave. Look at Jeni. Oh, she's so cute. Look at me. What's up?
So the Ape Canyon was named Ape Canyon because there was a attack on some miners, foresters. There was an attack on some apes by some Sasquatch.
Wow.
And, yeah, I know.
That's wild.
It was wild. It was crazy. It was a group of miners, and they were under attack one night by a troop of Bigfoot. Threw rocks at their cabin, did all sorts of things. They began to shoot back, and terrible things. But that happened one night, and eventually the miners were
killed.
Left the next day and wouldn't go back. A lot of people wouldn't go back. So that brings us to Ape Cave, which is the site of a lot of sightings, but it's not named after sightings. But it is very cool.
It is the coolest. Look at that. Gorgeous. And the cave's not bad either. Hello.
Yeah, I'm checking the comments right now. I'm not nice.
What?
It's
You're
the one
not
that
nice?
I took away. No, I was not nice to you. I'm so sorry.
Okay, jerk, whatever. Tell me about the cave.
The cave is amazing. So the cave is actually a lava tube. So it's located at the base of Mount St. Helens, which is a volcano that has erupted several times, and the lava of which...
Oh, is that erupted? I'm not familiar with Mount St. Helens.
Yeah, it erupted a few times. Just a couple. I know. But anyway, it's a lot of the rock that formed the gorge, right? So it's a lot of magma and
rocks.
I don't remember the word for it, but it's a lot of rocks. So this was a lava tube, and it's 1.5 miles long, and I think it took us 2.5 hours to get through.
Yeah, lots of climbing over boulders. Lots and lots of that. Lots and lots and lots of that. Climbing up an 8-foot lava wall. Me sprinting and doing cartwheels all the way through. Making these guys.
Absolutely. Not at all banging your head at any point in time.
It was only 3 times and it all hurt twice. It's fine.
So anyway, it's pitch black in the cave, and it was wild and cool, and I think we're going to try to hit every single cave that we ever possibly can.
Yes.
From here on out.
Yes. This was a different cave for me. I've only done caves that are like guided tours or like handrails and trails. Completely different experience. Aside from that, It wasn't your typical stalactite, stalagmite cave. It was a lava tube, which was still very cool.
Yeah. So I've done a couple of caves before in Central America, and those were more limestone and sandstone based, which means you also get a lot of stalagmites and stalactites because the rock is a little bit more soluble, and the chemical makeup of the rock like creates really interesting crystal formations.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any of that. But it was just really badass to realize that you're walking through a tube that was created by magma, like
and it was
pushed out of a volcano.
Everywhere. Like the walls and the floor were covered in old lava. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was wildly cool. One of the really cool things about the gorge itself is that these layers of magma that deposited and make up the bedrock of like that entire area all have different magnetic compositions.
Oh, right.
So the electromagnetic fields that are there are really wonky, and like compasses don't work a lot of times. Like a lot of like digital things don't work. It gets weird.
Yeah.
And that is the basis, as we've talked about so much on this show, so much of the paranormal activity that you see out and about in the wilderness is really, they're thinking it's based a lot on the geological makeup of whatever ground it's on, right?
Wild.
Which is crazy.
Just to think about, like, come on, those crystals are actually doing something. Who'd have thunk?
Well, and when Ronnie was talking about the stone structures, you know, all of this stone is ancient. You know, New England has so much history, and it's at the top of, you know, like if you go down a little bit south, then you get into the Appalachians, which is intensely old. You know, it's like the 4th oldest mountain range in the world. Which is wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you get a totally different makeup of rock, right? And you get a lot of quartz out there, which again has been linked up to a lot of paranormal and just high strangeness in general. So here you get a lot of different sorts of rock, but the same weird electromagnetic fields.
Yeah.
Which, and driving into it, Tressa, have you been to national parks or national forests at all?
Not without you, which was that one time I did it.
So I love them because they are a very stark reminder that these things very easily could be out there, and there is so much more that we don't know than we actually do know. There are just these vast areas of wilderness.
Seriously, like just driving through an area that everyone drives through, you just see everything, and it's like the ocean only on land because it's just so vast. There's no way. How is all of that explored? It's not. There's so much going on in there, and you have no idea.
Yeah, absolutely. It's insane, and I'm really glad that you got to experience that as well, because now at least, you know, like we kind of get it when we talk about some of these huge areas, right? And I'll be dragging you to any national park or forest that I can get you to from here on out, because it's just stunning. It's stunning and it's breathtaking. And we sit in like little suburbia and don't think that there's such an expanse of wilderness left.
Yeah, because we have bills to pay and we have stuff to do. We don't have time to think about the vastness of vastiness. I apologize for that.
Vastiness.
I don't feel good about it. Nope. Anyway, so we leave the cave and we drive and we see Mount St. Helens from afar. Look at gorgeous. It looks like Switzerland or wherever Maria was. But then we got our picture next to a Mount St. Helens sign. Yay!
Hooray!
And then we went to the resort that we stayed at. But
yeah,
that was lovely. I didn't get pictures of that. There was no trees.
I think maybe you definitely got like a picture of the resort. I know I didn't. We were so tired.
I didn't load it. That's what I'm saying.
All right, that's fair. Anyway, moving right along.
Oh, you didn't like? Okay.
What, do you want to talk about the resort?
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, that's fair. Are we fighting? Listen.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
The next day,
you know what, Jeni? Yeah. We are fighting. And we're going to settle it after we watch this brand
with
new
swords?
ad. With swords.
Hey, Tressa.
Hey, Jeni.
Oh, I'm just reading my own book by international TV sensation, Dave Schrader.
I'm reading the book too. I don't remember the name of it or who wrote it, but yeah.
Say, I like your shirt.
Thank you. I got it on monstersloungepodcast.com. You've got a great shirt too.
Oh, this? That's so weird. I got it at monstersloungepodcast.com too. They have really great stuff. A whole variety.
I know, right? They have everything. Shirts, tote bags, clutches, a phone case. I think it's the best.
monstersloungepodcast.com.
Wow, what a great ad.
No, that was a great ad.
That AI voice replacement really does wonders. It sounds so natural. You know what we did the next day after going to the caves? I'll tell you what. You relax. It's fine. James Shubsky picked us up in his super dope, I don't remember what he called it, but his super dope car. And he gave us the most amazing tour of everything around the gorge.
It was. Again, we had this delightful human being on the podcast a little bit ago. And go back and listen to that episode because he deserves a lot of people listening to him. He is awesome.
He's starting a new podcast soon, and we'll promote that once that comes out. But it's all about the gorge and all the stories about it because there are endless stories about this gorge, you guys. It is insane how much goes on. It's a vast piece of land in its vastiness in it. Sorry, I'll stop.
And it's really unique in a lot of ways. The geological makeup of it, the way that it was formed, the fact that I think it's one of the largest and oldest passages into the interior of the U.S.
Oh.
There's so much cool stuff going on there. Yeah, he took us around, and he took us on a hike up.
He made us hike, just like Jeni made me hike so much. He was like, "Oh, you guys like to hike? I got you.
Guys like to climb? You haven't gotten enough climbing?
Cool. Yeah, neat. I can't get enough hiking. I love it so much. Oh, we had a good time.
We did. My favorite part was when we started to leave or started to walk up, and he said, "Listen, be careful for snakes, but don't worry, they rattle and let you know that they're there."
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yep. Now let's climb. That's going to involve you putting your hands into
crevices.
Rocks and crevices that you can't see. It seemed great. It seemed safe.
It seemed
great.
I
really enjoy how everybody just kind of like let us loose. Like, you see that pile of rocks? Go climb on it. Good luck.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I have shoes. I bought hiking shoes specifically for this because I don't know what I'm doing. I had a whole cosplay going. It was great.
Yeah, I wasn't scared at all. And nowhere did the thought occur to me, oh, I've brought her out here and I'm now responsible for what happens.
That's great to hear because
not scary.
I was
not scary at all.
This must be fine because Jeni says it's fine. Whatever.
And I did.
I have no idea. What do you guys want to do? I don't know what's happening right now. Whatever you guys want to do.
Scared.
Pew, pew.
I was a little scared.
Okay, cool. You look very scared and angry the whole time, so that's good to hear. I was just tired. Tired of hiking.
I did not look angry. I was very pleased to be there. Anyway, James runs Margie's Outdoor Store, which is the coolest little store out in Washington. He's got all sorts of paranormal stuff. He made this whole map of all of these reported sightings. Go check out the website. You can actually file paranormal reports on the website. So it was just this little outdoor store.
Again, Margie's Outdoor Store.
And people started coming in and telling the wildest reports of something that is called the Klickitat ape cat, which is a giant panther-like creature, like 5 feet high at the shoulder, huge. Some people have reported that it has a sort of ape-like intelligent eyes and a more primate-like face.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it the ape cat.
That sounded so elegant the way you said that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I was trying. It's not been linked to any like violent or sort of malevolent sightings at all. A lot of the reports are just, hey, we saw this thing and it looked at us and then wandered away and did its own thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. But anyway, he started getting all of these reports. They started filing them or taking the reports and keeping them, right? And so he kind of trained his staff on how to take paranormal reports, and then he goes out and he investigates everything.
The guy, he's a powerhouse. He just keeps going and going and going. And I'm like, yeah, no, let's go see another thing. That sounds really neat.
Even I was tired at the end of the day because we saw a lot. Even I was like, all right.
It was nonstop, and I'm not complaining. A little bit, but I am impressed. He was just like, you're in town? I'm going to show you what's up. And he showed us what was up. Nonstop.
The best part is it was like the second day in a row that he had done this.
Right.
The day prior, he had been taking Tobe and Brett from Flash of Beauty documentaries around and showing them the same stuff. Yeah. Or was it just Brett and his wife? Either way.
I don't remember.
It was I know for sure it was Brett.
Yes.
And did the same tour. Like, did all of the same stuff. It was,
He's like, this is my commute. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
energy.
Hike up this plateau real quick. Sure.
The one picture that I couldn't find, but at some point we'll find it, is me standing next to the pole.
I got that. He
had marked off. Oh, you do?
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice. So that was a sighting that he took the report on.
Right next to our resort hotel. He just pulled over very quickly right before dropping us off. And he's like, here's the story of this. I marked that. We were like, what is happening? That's amazing. Yes. That was the entirety of our tour. It's just like, okay, here's what's here. And it's crazy. Go check it out.
Jump out.
What? Am I missing? Okay.
Yeah.
He was amazing. I love that man. He's so great.
Mm-hmm. So this was a Sasquatch sighting by a woman who had some car troubles, and she had pulled over on the side of the road, and that stands at 11 feet high.
Mm.
What?
I thought it was 12.
What do I know?
13?
Maybe 11, 12? I don't know.
More than 11. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm 5'9". That's like double me. So yeah, 11, 12. 15.
Anyway.
20.
All right.
So one of the cool stories that he talks about a little bit in the episode that we had with him is the story of the Hanford nuclear plutonium factory, pretty much, that they had. So in around the time of the Manhattan Project, during the Second World War, they started manufacturing the plutonium for all of those tests and for eventually the atomic bomb up in off of the Columbia River. And that's in Washington, a little bit further away. So it's a place called Hanford. It's a, what am I thinking of? A military post facility? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so
semantics.
Yeah. So, which is wild because I had never known that. So there's still they didn't do a great job of cleanup or safety or regulations.
Or keeping anything inside of the barrier of what they were supposed to be doing.
Or not testing randomly on the people in the surrounding area.
Making sure things didn't leak anywhere.
Yeah. Nobody escaped.
No.
They didn't do the best job.
Nope.
Right? So cleanup efforts are still going on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All of this. Oh, yeah.
Still?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Still going on. It's better than it was. It's more contained than it was.
Hope so.
But it's still not great.
You guys, get it together.
Yeah. Seriously. And the things that they were up to up there were wild. So they're manufacturing this plutonium in order to, explode things. But they're also doing a great deal of testing on what radiation does. So they released some gas into the air and kind of tested that on some folks unknowingly.
That seems fine.
Sorry, my bad, guys. But they also had a lot of animal testing. So they had at least 1,000 animals up there, a huge amount of property, fenced off and all of these things. And we're testing the effects of radiation, what it would do to life, right?
Can we make super soldiers with this radiation?
Yeah, basically it. And then a couple of the articles that I read, it was for purposes of health and physiology and military interests was the reason for the experimentation.
That's a yummily vague term,
isn't it? Though.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought up a bunch of animals, little bit by little bit, and they ended up getting up some alligators that they started to. There was a lot of animal testing going on. There was a lot of genetic testing going on. Hitler kind of was into
fine
it
and awesome.
Yeah, which that seems great. So of course, then we had to be into it and trying to figure out how we can utilize our natural resources in order to just benefit us, right?
Yeah.
As we do.
Yeah.
So they started experimenting with these alligators.
Cool.
And irradiating them.
Neat.
I'm
sure that's fine and not
it went
weird
great.
At all. Oh, good. That's great to hear.
Whatever happened, they definitely didn't escape.
Oh, that's good news because that sounds like something that would happen is that the alligators would escape. But they didn't.
So it says in my notes that they didn't. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I misread. No, they did escape.
Oh, that makes more sense and
they
makes them sound stupider for not taking care of the stuff.
Yeah. So they definitely did escape, not just once, but twice.
So they didn't fix the problem the first time. That's great. That's good to hear.
No. Or the alligators were just getting smarter. I don't know.
Oh, because they're
irradiated. We don't know what's going on. So a lot of the waste and whatnot, and James was telling us as well, there's still radioactive animal waste out and about in this area.
Fantastic.
And one of the theories behind this newer cryptid, the Klickitat ape cat, is that it's possibly descended from something that has been irradiated to begin with, or that it has fed off of prey animals that were irradiated. So it's fine.
Yeah, no, that's totally great and awesome and cool and not
seems totally reasonable.
Terrifying at all.
But it seems very pleasant and I don't know if invasive is the right word. It just wants to do its own thing, right?
Right.
It wants to have its cubs, do its own thing out there.
It's an introvert. I get it.
Yeah, totally. They dug up, and this was not too long ago. The article that I found about it was January 14th, 2007. Hanford workers removed 40,000 tons of carcasses and all sorts of waste from burial trenches at the former experimental animal farms at Hanford.
Wait, how many? What? What did you just say?
40,000 tons.
How many? Okay, roughly, how many animals is that? That's insane.
It's a lot. It's a lot of animals. So it's the carcasses, it's the waste, it's anything around them, all of that. And they ended up managing to find, they found in documents reports of a railroad car that had been like eliminated. Like they said that they burned it, right? And it had radioactive carcasses in it. Well, they ended up finding it, and they kind of knew it was there, but the burn didn't work.
Oh,
right. So they didn't actually incinerate anything.
That's weird.
Yeah, it had carcasses and minimal decay.
Oh God, that's the worst part.
I know.
How? Wait.
Mm-hmm.
How old was this finding? Like, with little decay? How long are we talking between?
Possibly from the 70s
to 2007.
Yeah, like 60s, 70s is kind of when most of the stuff was going on, because then we had the Cold War happening and we were trying to one-up everybody, and why not try to build, some sort of irradiated animal.
Some sort of mass grave for irradiated
animals.
You know what?
Precisely.
We don't need the animals. We just need their corpses. So what we're going to do...
Here's what we're going to do.
It's going to scare the hell out of the Russians, and we will win.
Yeah, exactly. We're definitely
and that's what
not
happened.
working on something shady there.
Nope.
Nothing at all was weird.
Never.
So, anyway, the alligators. So, by 1962, they had 33. They had 33 alligators.
But
they
why,
were just,
though?
Were just hanging out. Some of them, they were irradiating. Some of them, they weren't. Again, they made escapes. Most of them were collected. One was fished out of a lake by a guy just doing fishing stuff. He fished it out of the river.
Just doing fishing.
Just fishing for stuff. And pulled it out of the river, had it mounted, and had it in his little outdoor store. Some GE had bought the area, had bought the Hanford plant, I think. And a couple of suits from there came in and stole it while he was gone.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. And they never recovered one of the regular alligators and one of the irradiated alligators.
That's fine. I'm sure they're not mating and making more alligators somewhere.
Totally fine.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
Everything's good.
That's great.
Everything's fine and good.
I love it. More of that, please.
I know. So to end up...
We ended up on a little footbridge. How cute are we? Oh.
Yeah. We were discussing radiation.
Oh.
No, we weren't. We were talking about something completely different at that point in time. But
they didn't actually know that. You could have lied. It's fine.
Well, I know. It just seemed weird if we were smiling and posing on a bridge to be like, we're talking radiation. It seemed a little worse.
Those dumb alligators.
Smile nice. So overall, we learned some really cool and interesting things. We saw a lot of really cool and interesting people. The area was stunning. And
it was so stunning. We saw a little fairy house.
That was a fairy house? I'm pretty sure it was a fairy house.
We saw a waterfall. God,
we did.
We really hiked to that waterfall.
We did.
That was all the last day we were there. That's a total 2 photos, and I was like, I'll be in the back seat. You guys can go hike more, and I'll be right here. I'm done.
Listen, I saw 4 waterfalls.
I saw one.
Sure you saw one.
I saw that one that we have a photo of. I have photos of me in front of it with a disgusted face because I am done.
I know. That last day was not your day.
No,
that was and then I dragged you. We went back into Portland to fly out, and then I dragged you to the Powell's bookstore, which is the largest bookstore. It covers a full city block. It's very well known in independent books and used in new books. And, so I ran through the aisles like the happiest girl on the planet.
Yeah.
And Tressa left.
Yeah. You're going to make me hike and look at books. I will see you later. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to be at the curb sitting until you drag me, because I am done.
She was done. But I did awesome the whole time. And we have so many more adventures coming up for this summer. And for
hiking,
the rest of the time. Minimal hiking.
But like not really
There'll be
hiking.
Caves.
Oh, I can do caves. I can do indoor hiking. That's fine. Don't make me be outside around trees and bugs and sun and weather and no. Caves, yes. Absolutely, 100%.
I think we've kind of come to the end of our adventure, which is great because I think we've come to the end of the show.
Jeni.
What?
Thank you for joining us. Everybody else, don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and the Paranormal 60 Network. Like, comment, subscribe, and check out our merch on our website, monstersloungepodcast.com. Send us an email or a comment. We love hearing from people. So until next time, thanks for visiting the Monsters Lounge.
Bye.
Bye.